Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Aaron. It's not my buddy Jason. This is my buddy Josh. Welcome to the
Woo!
program, Josh.
Dude, I
Doc,
am so excited for this Wicked for Good premiere hype program that we're about to do. I can't believe you asked me to do it, man. It's like one of my favorite movies ever. So I'm so
yeah,
excited that that's what we're here to do today.
yeah. So, do you think they're going to be faithful to the musical? Or are they going to
Oh,
follow the book? What are you expecting here?
I mean, I've heard there's a couple of new songs, pretty jacked for that. Uh,
Exciting.
I still haven't let my kids know whether Alphaba dies or lives because they've never seen the
Mm,
original Wizard of Oz. So there's some mystery there, but yeah, pretty
excellent.
excited.
That's good. Yeah. So, in case you guys are wondering, faithful viewers, where our friend Jason Smith is, uh, he's been having a tough season. Obviously, the team's in the dumps. So we sent him out to Scottsdale. He played around out at Quintero, and then there's a one of those Aaron Rodgers bunkers underneath the sand trap on six, and so Jason spent a week down in the bunker. He's still down there now, but he's recovering. We wish him really well, and I think he'll be back next week with a fresh, a renewed spirit.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, yeah. 10 weeks in, we're 10 weeks in. Six teams in the league have passed 1,000 points,
Whoa.
over 100 a game. Six below that 1,000 point threshold.
Mm.
Uh, Mahoney, of course, the Vipers, and the entire running with the Devil division. Everybody there sub 100 a week. 10
But
weeks long.
that
10 weeks, that's the gestation period of an otter. You can make a whole new otter, and these guys can't score a grand.
Well,
Uh,
the good news is they all play each other coming down the stretch here, so it's
right, yeah, it'll be
still all in it somehow.
just a bloodbath. Now, you've just returned from Hogwarts, is that correct? Were you
That is,
sorted into a house?
that is true. I no, but my girls did get some wands, and I don't know if you've been there recently, but they have these like little incantation stations where you can should go up, you can look down, you say it, and then you make some motion with the wand, and then these magical things happen in front of you.
Oh,
So
man.
they got mad at me because I kept trying to take the wand from them, and like I was like, "You're not doing that right. Like it's not working." So,
Leviosa!
yeah,
Yeah.
but it was fun.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
All right, well, yeah, you ready to do a little recap here? Talk about
do
week
it.
10?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to kick things off with your squad. The Galloping Ghost defeat the Karate Kid 105-85. Um, yeah, you
Yeah,
came in the game. You were down to your third string quarterback. You found a way to win.
yeah.
Dynamic duo JSN, Drake London. They got 33. Very good. Rico Dowdle, he had to grind his way to a decent game, like 18 carries for 53 yards. But man, Jacobs is so steady. Pretty pedestrian for the rest of the squad. Um,
Yeah,
Nico Collins, he had his best game since September 24, and this was with Davis Mills throwing in the ball. So, uh,
who, yeah, was like number one quarterback on the week or something like that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, all the yards. Karate Kid maybe has their 2025 quarterback of the future, Jackson Dart and Jigba. It's been like a string of one night stands, 1 and 2 season stands in this case. He had Justin Herbert, he had CJ Stroud, he had this perfect, like dysfunctional long term relationship with Aaron Rodgers. And ever since, he's just chasing. He's just
yeah.
chasing. Like, I don't know. Maybe Jack's can be what he's looking for. How do you see it?
Well, I mean, nobody's going to mourn for the wicked of the ghost and our pedestrian score of 105 on
Yeah.
our third quarterback. But I was bummed to see Jackson Dart go out. But that dude's got to learn how to play different. Like this is like his
Yeah.
fourth. It's like his fourth evaluation for concussion, and I think maybe his first true concussion. But like four times he's been evaluated. So for their long term future, they got to get that figured out. But he's fun to watch. Sad to see him go out. The crazy part to me was JSN. Not to rub it in too much, but
Mhm.
Sam Darnold threw 12 passes in that whole game. They got up so quick. Seattle was up so quick that they were just like, we don't really need to do anything. We're just going to
Yeah.
stop playing football essentially. And he still scored whatever it was 15 points. I love that guy. Thank you for trading
Uh,
for me.
that trade is gonna haunt me for years. It used to be the Todd Gurley trade that haunted me
But I will
with
say
you,
it
but
is fun to have. It is fun to have somebody on your roster who plays for your favorite. If you have to choose a favorite team to play for your favorite team, it's fun to have somebody to root for. So
yeah, and
that's,
and it helps. He's number one right now,
yeah,
number one wide receiver.
yeah,
Like
that does help. Yeah.
goes a little way. We're gonna move on to Cobras defeat the Dude, 148 to
Oh my gosh.
82. Yeah,
Dude,
uh, I
go
do
ahead.
believe this is the highest score in league history with a sub 20 point quarterback. Um,
I mean, you are dancing through life with Jonathan Taylor, man. Like that dude is just like every. I mean,
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. Like Carson out that message to the group text, like his game was over before the first kickoff, and
yeah. Go to sleep, sweet prince. Uh,
unbelievable.
yeah. So I saw on Sunday morning. This is the second time this has happened to me. I screwed up and my kicker was hurt. Like, and I didn't do anything about it on Saturday. So it's Sunday morning. And I'm like, should I trade for a kicker? Mahoney's got two. He seems to be having a fire sale. So I was reasonably sure I could overpay for a kicker. But I had the luxury of that Germany game first, and so I
Yeah,
thought, let me just see, what happens. And I told myself, if Jonathan Taylor can score 20 points or more, then I'm not going to worry about a kicker. But if he's fewer than 20, well, you know how that turned out. I did not need a kicker.
you recovered.
Yeah, it was great.
But I will say this: kudos to finally having an international game that was worth watching.
That was
I
that was
mean,
a really fun.
finally,
Yeah,
there was actually a good game. All the others seem like they're terrible blowouts.
yeah, and I'm hoping there's this coming Sunday morning's good because I think I got a couple guys out there.
Yeah.
Um, boy, the Eagles are tough on quarterbacks. I know that. I knew the Packers were going to struggle without Tucker Kraft, but oh, that was so ugly. Just
Yeah.
all the Packers are their wide receivers are so banged up. They've got Bo Melton, former cornerback. He's their slot receiver now. Deontavian Wicks is not healthy. He's trying to play. They just got their fast guy back, Watson.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
it,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know what they're going to do, man. They have nobody to catch the ball. Like, if Golden stays out, like Dobbs, if he's missed his time now, I mean,
yeah. Now he's banged up.
yeah.
What does give me a little bit of confidence though is my man coming back from
Burrow.
practice, Joe Burrow. Open up
Seriously,
that window, baby.
seriously, if Burrow comes back, we might as well just like end the season. Like, if Burrow comes back and you got Taylor, I mean, and then you got the Burrow Chase stack. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
just call it. Just
It's
call
setting up. For as low as I felt it in week 2, it is really setting up now.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw DJ Moore almost caught a touchdown in this one back to our game. That
Oh,
would have made Carr.
he's been, I think, one of the most disappointing players this season so far.
DJ Moore, yeah.
Yeah. Like, presumably coming in as like the wide receiver one of an offense you think is up and coming, and he has done nothing.
No.
I mean, like Luther Burton is worth more now, I think, than DJ Moore. I mean, unfortunate for the dude, but yeah, that's been a disappointment. But it looks like J.K. Dobbins may be out for a while, so maybe R.J. Harvey's going to ascend a little bit.
Boy, he
Who
needs
knows?
it.
Who knows? Yeah, but this game was over by 9:00 in the morning my time.
Yeah, it was. It felt good. It feels good to have these relaxing Sundays. But the dude came into the draft like really needing an influx of talent. We talked about his keepers not necessarily being that great. Seemed like he maybe fixed his running back issues, but boy, Omarion Hampton and R.J. Harvey have both just been so disappointing. And we all would have drafted those guys. We all wanted them. They looked like they were going to be solid players. But
well, if Hampton gets back and Harvey, if he can make the playoffs and Hampton gets back and maybe Harvey takes over that job. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Wide receivers are still the problem with, but Olave is getting the targets, so you never know.
I do like Olave quite a bit.
He's got to get in.
Josh, have you ever had a player on a heater the way Jonathan Taylor has been here, like Adrian Peterson days, maybe?
Maybe in the AP days at some point. Although they're always tainted by him just failing me miserably in the playoffs. But
well, week 10 though, we're talking week 10 right now.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't know if anybody ever had. I mean, even Saquon last year. I'm not sure. I mean, like I was reading today, Taylor's like on pace to eclipse all of Saquon numbers from a year ago.
It's remarkable.
Saquon's year last year was like one of the best ever. It was just nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe if you went way back to like when football was played a little different, you had like the true bell cow RB1s, like the Priest Holmes.
Yeah. He's not even. I don't think he's on pace to beat the LaDainian Tomlinson season.
Yeah.
So there's still a higher tier.
Yeah. But they don't play football that way anymore. I mean, like what he's doing now in today's modern, where you have your third down back, you got your like specialty 2-minute back, those days are gone. So to get even close to it's insane.
Yeah. Do you want to add anything, or you want to start talking about Hounds Rhinos?
Let's talk about Hounds Rhinos.
Yeah, Hounds take down the Rhinos 110-89. That's good for both of us. Get a little more distance from Jeff in the division. Although
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to catch you, but yeah. Finally, Trayvon Henderson breakout game. False
Yeah.
John's just been waiting, dreaming of
Yeah.
this.
Good for John.
Yeah, he's got a lot of juice. Does Vrabel finally trust him, or is this just like there were no more options?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a disappointment for John through the rest of the season because you see it, you saw it in this
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
and as soon as Ramondre comes back, I think it goes back to this time chart. This is just going to be frustrating because he'll probably have a game or two down the
yeah,
stretch if he has another game like this. But like, if Ramondre comes back, like I mean, he's just Vrabel's that old school dude. Like I think that's how
yeah.
he coaches, and he's just like I don't know,
He
but it is
is
unfortunate.
he is the guy that set Derrick Henry as a rookie.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, I can see that being frustrating. You keep starting him, because well, it's there. Well, you know it's there, but that's tough. Hounds are going to be real glad to get CeeDee Lamb back next week. Won't have to depend on Quentin Johnson anymore. Amon-Ra scored, but at what cost?
yeah,
The TD celebration that really disappointed me. This is the same guy that gave us the headstand.
yeah.
It's terrible. 2 game losing streak for the Rhinos. Schedule loss though, with all these guys on bye. Javonte Williams, Rasheed Rice, Patty Mahomes, and then Kamara gets
Yeah.
back in the lineup. It's his best game since week 1. Devonta Adams, 6 TDs in the last 3 games, 9 on the season.
Yeah.
Um, Man,
Well, one thing I wanted to point out about Jeff's score is like he actually had 7 active players on his bench, and they totaled 5.6 points. No, like he really did a good job in his BMI this week. I mean, he really couldn't have maximized anything better. But Jeff's one of those guys. He's like the popular owner, so like he's the guy that really nice guy. Everybody wants him to win. I think he'll be
yeah,
fine. He'll be fine down the stretch. I am a little worried about Quinshawn though, simply because
right.
not because of his talent, but because that team seems to be pretty dysfunctional. And with the change in play calling, they gave him a lot of targets, but like it didn't really go, or gave him a lot of touches, but didn't really go anywhere because they're
Yeah, it's just
just not
spinning his
very good.
wheels.
Not very good. No
Yeah,
respect to the pass because of the quarterback situation. So in the future he'll be a stud, but he may not have quite what it takes to carry him down the stretch here. I think, but
I agree with that. He needs the right matchup where they can stay in a game somehow, and boy, that's so tough with their quarterbacks. Um,
yeah.
so I don't know. So I, I'm wondering if the Hounds can count on Derrick Henry and Trayvon Henderson. They seem to have built a contender here. But you think it's
Oh,
it's house on sand here?
with the Hounds.
Yeah,
I think Derrick Henry. Like I was a little bit reluctant to trade him because I think his schedule matches up. He's got a pretty favorable schedule for RB scoring down the stretch
yeah.
here.
Bengal game.
But honestly, I can't watch the guy play. Like when I
Okay.
watch him, I can't actively like I'm trying to like I'm like come on, but he just it's like straight. He runs so straight up and he just slams into walls like time after time, and then he'll get lucky and he'll break like a 15-yarder or something, and then he looks like a freight train. But there's so many of these like run into the 1 yard stack up line that I was just like I can't watch this anymore.
Just a
Uh,
mental health trade for
but
you.
I think yes, but I think from an RB I think scoring down the stretch, I think Henry's going to be solid. I think the key comes down to Henderson. I think John's future moving forward is all contingent upon Vrabel and how he plays those running backs.
Yeah.
And if Henderson gets more of a role, like I mean, he's got some. His wide receivers can't be beat. I mean, they're top
But
notch.
yeah, top tier. But and if so, do you think False John can even resist the urge to blow it up? Like if there's 2 games in a row where something doesn't go quite right, like
Oh, you always have that a little bit with John, I think. But
just
I
never
do think
know.
I do think he seems to have identified a core, as he and I talk trades all the time. And there's a certain he has a certain core of guys that he does not that he's like I'm not trading those guys, and he's been
Wow.
pretty
Okay.
all season. So I will see.
See if he stays steadfast. All
Yep.
right, let's go on to Rompers Mahoney. Oh, poor Mahoney. Rompers dump Mahoney 103-67. 3 wins in a row for the surging Rompers. Emeka Ibuka finally gets back to delivering like those early season splash games. Boy, the Rompers are just tough with that Ibuka Baker combo. Um, Too bad though, just as Ibuka is kind of reemerging, Rhonda Gadsden falling back down to earth. Gets banged up.
Yeah. Although
Uh,
I saw today that it looks like it's just like a thigh bruise or something. Like there was a point
yeah,
where they were worried maybe he'd be out for the season. which would have
So now
been,
he's like day to
yeah,
day, week to week.
yeah.
Uh,
But that
yeah,
that would have been a huge loss, I think, for Chad. Because that was like a midseason like revelation pickup for several weeks there.
yeah. He was just carrying people. I think the O line there is so banged up. I don't know if it can support like that kind of season.
Yeah,
I think they need. He's not a strong enough blocker. They need somebody in there, but um, it's still what a great player to have. Like you want those guys that show they could do wide receiver things.
yeah,
Um, boy, poor Mahoney. Five losses in 6 games. Just floundering. Not likely to get any better now without Brandon Aubrey and Sam Laporta and Rico Dowdle. Just a fire sale. You were
yeah.
cashing in. Um, whichever team has his 2026 first round picture is lucky. I
Well,
forgot I owned that till he pointed it out.
well, so this is actually an interesting point I was going to make about Mahoney's team. Is actually he's one of those rare cases where he actually wants to still do as well as he can down the stretch because he doesn't get the benefit of the earlier his first round pick. In fact, the worse his first round pick, the sooner his second round pick. So
Mm,
because his first round pick is yours, if he comes in say fourth or in the fourth hole, he actually gets a second round pick a little bit quicker than if
interesting.
he had the first round pick. So,
Yeah.
but so he still
Uh,
behooves him to try to win as much as he can. But it's just one short day for Mahoney and the Lahan team. They will, he's stocked with some picks for next season, and I do think his young core is has a chance to be elite. You
yeah.
know, Genty, James Cook. He's got Tet, who I think they can fix their quarterback problem. Will be a good long term pick. So
Yeah. Next year.
he's stacked pretty well moving forward.
How serious of a contender do you think the Rompers are?
They, I think, are the potential dark horse team that could really screw things up for a lot of people like you and I. Uh, like right now, the running back situation is fraught. I mean, if Bucky comes back, but if he does
Yeah.
come, like
Yeah.
with Kyron and Bucky, I mean that's solid.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Burrow comes
Big
back,
difference.
I mean, I was a huge Chase Brown fan in the preseason because of just the potency of that offense. While I don't think he's the most talented dude, they showed that for last year they were just going to pepper him with targets, give him the ball. So if Burrow comes back, like that boosts his running back depth. His wide receivers with Ibuka keeps going on. I mean, Harrison is a very reasonable wide receiver too.
Right.
And
He's
if
been
Gadsden,
scoring.
I mean, like his roster, I think has the potential to like be one of those that like in 3 or 4 weeks is lighting up the scoreboard every week.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's not somebody you really want to face. And not
Yeah.
with that Baker combo. It's just oh man.
I will say
You-
that is potentially the only downfall is that he'll have
yeah,
three. If Bucky comes back, three of his primary stars are contingent upon that team, and if they have
yeah,
one bad game, it's just boom.
yeah, that's true. It's perilous, but maybe the path.
Yep.
Um, Sox defeat Brandon. Oh boy, 143 to 85. Sox climb up to 6-4, top of their division on the back of Josh Allen. Pair of running backs that combined for 69, dude. Uh, Jameer Gibbs, 35 points, career high. Jameer Gibbs, career high. We think of all these amazing games. Never
Yeah.
done it better than this one.
Yeah.
Devon Achane, second highest score of his career.
Yeah.
Second only to that breakout game he had 3 weeks into his rookie season. You get Jamison Williams now. He's like Dan Campbell wants to focus on this guy.
Yes. I mean
Scary.
that. So I did get to see a little bit of that game, and that was shocking to me. It was like Dan Campbell was like, "We're not giving Williams enough of the ball," and there was like one series. It was about all I saw, but it was like you could tell like 3 plays in a row were designed specifically to get him the ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that's a sign of things to come, his wide receivers have just been the problem all year, and so like that would be a nice shot in the arm. But like
Yeah.
the Gibbs A-Chain combination, like when you collected those two guys on your team, like this is what you dreamed it could be.
This was it.
I mean, that is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah. This was the week. They both flexed and just broke him. Yeah. Shane could be real scary if that Jameson thing takes over.
But on the Brandon side,
Yeah.
he's got to be like, what is this feeling that like team every year I collect this like because I actually went back and watched your preview show with Jason because I'm weird like that. I was like, I wanted to see. I was like, I wanted to see the history because I think he had summarized who it all had won over the years. So I was watching it and then I kept watching it. And you guys did that whole thing where you're like, which starter or which keepers would you like to have? And it was like you both were like, we want Brandon's team, basically. Aside from your own keepers, you're like, we want Brandon's team. I mean, it's just unfortunate luck, especially like as you guys have pointed out before, the fact that McCaffrey is ironically the one that's staying healthy.
Somehow.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
Wilson's gone again. I mean, it's a comedy of errors this year, unfortunately for Brandon's
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. Every week it's a new, now it's Garrett Wilson's out for a month, probably. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
you get Brock back, and then Garrett's like, okay, my turn. I'm gonna go sit on
yeah,
the for a while.
just cannot win. Seems to have something maybe in Alec Pierce. He
Yeah,
was due for a touchdown. He'd been yards, yards, yards. I don't know. I feel bad for Brandon. The only positive spin I can really think about is like good to get these dud games out of the way. The Bowers dud, the Jalen Hurts dud. Have these duds on a week when your opponent scores 143. Just get those out
yeah.
of the way, and then you'll regress back to a positive, score next week. And
But as I mentioned earlier, he's in a division where they all play each other here. So he and I play next week. That's
yeah,
just, we're gonna chalk that up to a loss. All right. But the next 3 weeks after that, he's playing all the people that he's competing with to win that division.
yeah, it's
And
it's
so
wide open.
he still has a potential path to the playoffs because of his division.
That's true. One more thing on the Sox. In total points, the number one quarterback, Matt Stafford. Number three, Josh Allen. Oh, and number four, the guy they traded away, Drake May.
Oh, nice.
Like Russell Sweatsock, quarterback factory.
Yeah.
Quarterback's the hardest. It's the most crucial position to nail in this league. Is this a lucky fluke, or has Coach Coward cracked quarterback scouting?
It's possible.
I think he is. He's got some secret. He's got some stats he's found that we're not aware of. He's crafty. Let's move on to the Vipers. Vipers defeat the Pharisees 106-98. Oh goodness. Jared Goff's second best game of the season. He was just dealing versus the Commanders. Trey McBride's come alive under Jacoby Brissett. Just kind of weird how the Falcons don't want to use Bijan near the goal line. I don't know. Seems like he'd be good at it.
Yeah, yes, I do not understand. I don't understand several things about the Falcons, but that is one of them. Like, let's get Tyler Algier in here.
It's Algier time.
Same thing with the Seahawks too. It's like Kevin Walker gets them all the way down the field, and they're like, "Oh, let's bring in Charbonnet." Or this week they brought in somebody Holani.
Yeah, I think that was because they were so far ahead. They were like, "Let's just bring in." Yeah, I didn't know who that third guy was.
Yeah, but yes, the lack of Bijan use around the goal line is crazy.
Yeah, Pharisees really could have used a touchdown from him this week.
Well,
Nakua, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and so Jay, he had Sutton play on Thursday night, and he scored a whopping 2.4 points. He was really defying some gravity there when he had Lamar Jackson, Bijan, Puka in the lineup, and you got 2.4 from Sutton on a Thursday. He had to be going in the weekend, and be like, ooh, but pulled it out.
Yeah, that was a really unlikely comeback. The rest of the Pharisees, they were just kind of fine. This is the most averagest game I've ever seen. Yeah. They would have beaten 5 other teams this week, but I mean, this is as sexy as a dingleberry. This is,
all right around 8 to 10 points.
Yeah, just
the kicker though is when your defense, if your defense gets above 7 points, I mean, you're sort of playing with money at that point.
Yeah, I agree there. That's like you really feel like, because that's a couple turnovers.
Yeah.
We got.
So I know you guys like to put in some Easter eggs into your show. So I did my
there. Yeah.
Every game had a Wicked reference. So
I noticed
you're paying attention.
I was going to commend you on that later off the air. I was giggling a couple times there. I did appreciate that extra effort that you put into the preparation. I'm not used to getting that level of preparation from my co-host.
Well, I'm not just a pretty face, all right?
I can tell.
I'm here to put in the work.
I can tell. Do you want to talk about picks? Cobras are tied for first.
Yeah, let me pull it up here real quick.
Cobras and the Rompers, first place. That's pretty good. We don't have slides because of Jason, but believe me, tied for first. I noticed the best ball team Jason scored 195 this week versus the Pharisees. So 195, pretty good.
That's a good score.
Pretty good. Now the Survivor contest. This is the important one we got to talk about.
Yeah.
The Rompers and the Karate Kids both chose the Panthers this week. So to keep playing, you guys text me your picks, and I will be a secret judge. I will hold those close to my heart, and then let's get a winner.
Yeah.
We don't want to end in a tie. That's
Yeah.
gross.
We have to have a winner. That's right.
So I hope Chad is still listening. I hope Jason is able to get this in the bunker. Um, unless you've got anything to add, let's move on to week 11.
Move on.
Okay. Okay. You are first up here, Mr. Galloping Ghost. Ghost versus Brandon. Do you want to break down how you see this? You want to hear what I think, and then I'll.
Well, so I think he's got a pretty. I mean, I think I got a pretty favorable quarterback matchup here. Dak going up
Yep.
against the Raiders on Monday night should be hopefully getting Dak back to his scoring ways of earlier in the season.
Yes.
And then meanwhile, Hurts is going up against the Lions, which I think is a tough defense. Maybe not so much on the pass defense side of it, but their run defense, they're high in sacks. Plus, they're my defense, so I get sort of
Oh.
whammy there, which will be nice.
Yeah.
I think the running backs are, I would say, pretty equal. I mean, McCaffrey I'd take him over anybody on my roster. But I think I'd rather have Rico Dowdle than Aaron Jones. I think pretty clear advantage at the wide receiver position. And normally I would say his tight end situation maybe a little bit better, but I mean, they are playing the Cowboys, so maybe that does boost Bowers. But ultimately, as I said earlier, I don't see how this is anything but a Ghost 10th win on the season, first one to 10 wins.
Yeah. That unfortunately that you mirrored almost all of my notes here. I think Dak's going to find a lot more success versus the Raiders than Jalen Hurts is going to find versus Detroit. I do think Christian McCaffrey is going to be the best running back in this game, but I think you're going to make up the difference at that RB2 spot. I like that a lot more than whatever Aaron Jones is going to do. Major mismatch at wide receiver, of course. I think the two guys on your bench are probably going to outscore his starters. Got Brandon Aubrey. Brock Bowers is the only spot that I kind of like him. So yeah, easy Ghost win. I see that. Cut next, the Rhinos versus the Karate Kid. Yikes. Patrick Mahomes, fresh off the bye. He's got to play in Denver. That's tough. I think Mahomes outscores. Stroud's still hurt. Well, we know Lugin's start. He's got the concussion. So I don't know. It's a mess for Jason at quarterback.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams, I like that. I think that's a good play versus the Raiders. I think I don't know about that Quinshon Judkins, like you said. I think he'll put up a good score this week, but this is one of those like you can't count on it. You got to treat it like found candy or something. Devonta Adams got to face the Seahawks. That's not ideal for the Rhinos, especially with Justin Jefferson on the other sideline. I think Jason Kelsey's going to have a good game versus the Broncos, but I'm going to go Karate Kid squeak out a win.
Oh, interesting. I was actually going to pick Karate Kid too. But I'll go just to be opposite. I'll go with the Rhino. But yeah, I think a lot. Quarterback, think clear advantage. Mahomes. I like the running backs for Jeff, specifically Javonte. The Devontae Williams thing or Devontae Adams is, did you see that injury?
I guess not.
It was sort of weird. He was like on the line and he just goes to take off on a route and he sort of turns and he goes, oh, kind of like me.
Oh, no.
Kind of like me sometimes when I'm like turning around, do something I'm like, oh. So I don't know if this is just like his age finally catching up with him or something, but I also like it was sort of, I know they said he could have come back in the game or whatever, but I don't know. It was just a little weird. I was like, one of those injuries where, he may not be, he's one of those players where I could see like you play him because he's going to play and then first quarter he tweaks it and he's out the rest of the game, which would be a bummer. But
that's alarming.
The Rice connection is awesome. I kind of feel like, I feel like my JJ McCarthy plays a little bit better at home, and Justin Jefferson, I think, is maybe going to get a little squeaky wheel sort of action. But that's why I was sort of leaning towards Karate Kid, but I'll take the Rhinos just to be different.
I saw a thing about catchable passes in that last game between JJ McCarthy to Jefferson, and it was like 5 of 12. Yeah, 5 of 12 were rated as catchable.
And he probably caught all 5 of them, yeah.
He dropped one, but it was 4, yeah. So, tough. Next up, we got Mahoney Vipers. Very interesting to see which quarterback Mahoney rolls with. We got his regular starter, Justin Herbert. He's got the Jaguars. But the backups, Backup's got some nice matchups. Aaron Rodgers versus the Bengals. Geno Smith versus the Cowboys.
Yeah, you might could talk me into playing Rodgers. There's no way I'd play Geno Smith. You
He's
and I
seen
saw that.
enough.
You and I saw that guy live not too long ago.
Yeah.
I saw him live again the week or 2 weeks after that.
No
He
better.
somehow he has gotten worse as the season has gone along. I mean, that
Yeah.
dude is just not good. So I mean, you could potentially talk me into Rodgers, but I don't care who Geno Smith's playing. I'm not playing.
They did lose another lineman there, the Raiders.
Yeah,
Like a big time. Yeah, he's really struggling. Uh, Vipers, I think, have a tough choice too. You got Jared Goff coming off a great game, but he's got the Eagles defense that just put Jordan Love through the ringer.
yeah,
I think the play might be Trevor Lawrence versus the Jaguars. Although, like, who's Lawrence even throwing to? Uh, it's not ideal either way. I don't think. Um,
yeah.
quarterback it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think you're right. Like, I think the running backs definitely favor Mahoney.
For
The
sure.
I mean, I feel like the Broncos need to get back to like making Cortland Sutton their number one player. Like, because early in the season when they were targeting him a lot, Bo Nix looked a lot better.
Yeah, that's
Recently,
a weird
like
team.
the last 4 games, Franklin has become like the number one target, and Bo Nix's play has seemed to just go like this. So I don't know. Maybe if they get back to targeting Sutton, maybe that'll help Jay.
Oh, Jay definitely needs that. Otherwise, it's just a huge mismatch here.
Well, is Kincaid going to play? I think he may be even out.
I don't. I think he's out too. Yeah, I don't know what Jay's going to do with that other spot. It looks like he's out for at least another week, maybe longer. It's a hamstring, I think. Um, Still, you got Trey McBride, so big edge.
Yeah,
Not going to be enough though. I see this as a Mahoney win.
yeah. I think I'm leaning that way too. I'll go Mahoney as well, but it wouldn't shock me if like Jared Goff goes for 60 or something.
For sure, yeah, because we know it's there. We know
Yeah,
he's capable. Um, all right, we got the Russell Sweat Sox versus the Dude Abides coming up next. Caleb's been going better. He's been playing a little better. There's still some moments each game where you're like, oh no. But he had 38 against the Vikings a few weeks ago, week one. I think Caleb goes for at least that much again this time. Won't be as much as the Sweat Sox get from their quarterback though, presumably Josh Allen. But what we just talked about how great Stafford is. Um, Jalen Warren's fine, but I mean, Achan is on that other tier. Too much. Jahmyr Gibbs, really tough matchup, but also it's Jahmyr Gibbs, so you're gonna stick with him. Just a couple tiers above RJ Harvey, and unless he finally breaks out, I don't know. The wide receivers make me just shake my head. I think somehow Parker Washington probably ends up being the best play here, but um, I think Jake Ferguson gives the dude an advantage at tight end, but just not enough to get in the way of a sock win. This
yeah.
looks like an easy win.
My only comment would be like Josh Allen. Like I think up going into the fourth quarter last week, he had like 10 points. He
Yeah,
scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth. Because somehow the NFL makes perfectly good sense, and the Dolphins were just blowing them out. Uh,
right.
and so, but they had two. He had 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I think he had like 160 yards in the fourth quarter. So like going into the fourth quarter, and he's had a couple games this year where I don't think he's quite his MVP dominating self that he was a year ago, and it's because he has
Yeah,
nobody to throw the ball to.
I
But
agree.
so it's possible. Who knows that Tampa Bay shuts him down a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah, they definitely could use some better weapon there up in Buffalo. You
Yeah,
saw they almost got Jalen Waddle. That would have been fun to see what he could do with him.
yeah,
I think it would have been bad for Waddle fantasy wise, but it would have been neat, like as a fan,
yeah.
to see what he would do.
Well, all of you guys who have the Dolphin players, you just have to every night before you go to bed, you need to pray for Tua's health.
Right?
Yeah, I mean Waddle's breaking out, but if Tua goes down, it's a problem. Same thing for HN.
Yeah.
If you look historically, when Tua's out, like his numbers just go. So
Yeah, that whole offense just seems to implode without Tua, which we don't even think Tua is that good. So I don't understand why the house just falls apart without him.
yeah, well, he's better than whoever's behind him apparently.
That's true. Next up, we got Rompers Pharisees. Ooh, Cleveland. That's a tough matchup for quarterbacks. Does True John chase the 52 points that Joe Flacco scored the last time he played the Steelers? I don't think so, but he should. I think he should. Uh, I don't know. Baker Mayfield ought to have a good game versus Buffalo. Bijan Robinson, that's a one-man mismatch at running back. would be nice if he got some red zone looks. Kyron Williams is fine. But despite the big names at wide receiver the Pharisees have, I kind of like the Rompers to outperform him at wide receiver. I think Ibuka's going to have a big game, and the combo points, they're just going to take the Rompers all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, I'll go John here. I mean, I do
Oh,
think you're right about Flacco. I mean, if he played, so I was reading something, so I can't just take this for a grain of salt. But it was like this the time Flacco's been the full time starter. That even in traditional fantasy scoring, he's like the number one quarterback, which is crazy, right?
right.
Like,
How does that make any sense?
I mean, it shows you what Burrow could do if he comes back. But oh my god,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, but playing Flacco here might be a smart move, but it's really hard to bench Lamar. Um, Puka, I think the key here is Puka because Puka is playing Seattle.
Yeah.
If we were a PPR league, Puka would still be a home run of play, but Puka in this game could go 8 for 65 yards.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
that defense. So, but I still think John has enough to get it done.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so I'll go John on this side. I also think
Oh,
Theo Johnson. I also think has been sort of a nice little mid-tier tight end that's pretty consistent. And with Gadsden out, who knows what would happen on that side? So
that's a good call on Theo Johnson. Every week I kind of discount him, and then sure enough, he's there. He's making plays.
yeah, he's like
He,
4 to 5 catches for like 50 to 60 yards and a touchdown like every other week.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he's been a really nice play for True John. Okay, we're at the game of the week. Game of the week. Thanks again, General Mills. I got my Jamar Chase Lucky Charms here. They're delicious. They're magically delicious, actually, not just regular delicious. Game of the week: Cobras versus the Hounds. We got two great records here. Two teams going up, up, up. This is our moment. Uh, Cobras are one win away from sweeping their non-division games. So there's
wow.
it's meaningless, but it's also be pretty cool
Yeah,
to sweep. Yeah. So unfortunately, it does not look like a good week for the Cobras. Evidently, I'm starting Tua Tagovailoa this week, and he's in Madrid, effing Spain. So let's go,
yeah.
let's go. I don't feel good about Jordan
Really?
Love till yeah.
Oh, I thought this was a brilliant play on your part. Washington's they're 31st in
Oh
scoring.
no, that's what I'm saying. I do
Oh,
not feel good about Jordan Love.
okay, sorry.
So yeah, here I am. Like here comes Tua because yeah, like you said, Washington is very vulnerable.
Yeah.
So well, Tua doesn't give me a ton of confidence. Let's do it. Let's go.
Well, and you got the Tua Waddle stack, which is I think
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. On the other side, you got Drake May at home versus the Jets. That sounds like a pretty fertile place for fantasy points to grow. I just need Tua delivering some tapas to Waddle. Just tapas, tapas, tapas. Bring it. Uh, I got Derrick Henry to play against now. Thanks a lot. I don't love that.
Well, hey,
Um,
but the last time he played, I think they played the Browns, right? Last time
yeah.
he played Cleveland, he only scored 2.3 points.
Okay.
So,
Well, then in that case, that would be great. That's like a sneaky sabotage here, because it's a problem. Jonathan Taylor's on bye,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
I
your
feel
47-point cushions every week. You have to find
yeah,
that way to score your 100 points.
yeah. He's been giving me a significant advantage, and I will miss that. But I'm glad he's getting some rest, some let the wear and tear heal up, because we got some playoff games coming up here soon, Johnny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Hounds have a big edge at running back. I think I can make up some points at wide receiver and maybe tight end, but boy, the Hounds receivers are no slouches. Looks like the Cobras win streak's going to end at 7, and I'm predicting a Hounds win.
Yeah, I think the key here is Henderson. It goes back to, I mean,
Right?
it's looking like Ramondre might be out another week. But I think they were practice reports yesterday. I think like all three running backs on the roster were limited participants. So who knows who's healthy and who's going to play. So if Ramondre's back and Henderson goes back to getting his, couple of catches, like I think the Cobras win. If Henderson gets the workload he got last week, I agree. I think without your JT support system, I think the Hounds maybe pull this one out. But I will say also, Amon-Ra doesn't have a great matchup with the Eagles either. So
No, they are tough.
so even though by name I take Amon-Ra and CD, CD, I think, is going to go crazy on the Raiders. That may count if all the rest
Right.
not getting CD. Maybe he may score 30 points. Who knows?
Yeah, they'll balance. It'll be a 40 together. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
Uh, well, we did it.
we did
We
it.
did it. You see how fast it goes? It just flies right on by.
Yeah,
You just can't believe it.
and I will say it's harder than it looks. So kudos to you guys. I appreciate you letting me fill in, and you guys do a great job every week. So be anxious to get Jason back here next week and get you back to the normal routine.
Yeah. I really hope he gets his head straightened out there in that hole out in the desert. But yeah, kudos to you. You did a great job jumping in. Your kids can be so proud when you make them watch this
I know,
over
and
and
they were like,
over.
"What are you doing downstairs?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it. I'll show it to you later."
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
So
what a hero.
my other thought of what I was going to do instead of doing the wicked thing was to go through and analyze every team's roster and propose a trade, since I like to trade so much. But I
Oh
thought,
wow.
but then I might be shooting myself in the foot a little bit. So I was like, I don't want to give them ideas to do something that doesn't include the ghosts.
I
So
see.
I decided against that. But anyway,
Yeah, I was hoping to ply a little knowledge out of like little like espionage, like try to get you to drop something I could use against you, but you were pretty
well,
good.
uh, just to close the show, I'll say this: I thought about sending you this offer, JSN back for Pearsall and all three of your first round picks for next year.
Ah!
But I can't let him go. I can't let him go. Even if you said yes, I can't let him go.
Man, what a price. Oh, can't believe it.
But dude,
Okay.
that would cement the, especially if Burrow came back again. We just end the season.
Uh, you're not going to get me. I'm not doing it.
All
Can't
right.
have him.
Okay.
All right. Good job, Weiss.
See ya.
Out.